when the worm slung is annoyed or interfered with, it blows up its neck. Not in a sort of a hood like your cobras do, around formation, right around its neck. That's a warning to leave it alone. You're stupid. You don't leave it alone, you could get bitten. So those now, when you go north of us, from Hilton down into the Midlands, you get the puff adder, which is common throughout South Africa. You get the rumkalks. You do not get the Infesi up there. You get the rumkalks, which is banded. It's got black and yellow bands on its body. You get the boom slung up that way, and the night adder. When you get down on the coast, you have a problem. You get the black mamba, the green mamba, the Mozambique spitting cobra, the forest cobra. So once you get into northern Zululand, you get the snouted cobra as well. That's its most southern. And then of course you get the gaboon viper and the buffalo. So living on the coast, you have a few more problems when you do up here. If there's any questions as I go along, please ask them. Okay, so let's look at the venoms.
Sorry, how far Midlands do the Infesis?
After
how far into Midlands? Because I know we came from the Ladysmith area, we had quite a lot of
You've got them
Infesis
there, yes. It's bushveld though.
Okay.
Once you get into the bushveld, escort area, you get back into the Infesi again.
Okay.
The Midlands, the grasslands and the Berg, it's all rumkals. Now, let's look at their venoms. We've got three types of venoms. Neurotoxic, which affects the nerve system. You either die of respiratory collapse or heart failure. The venom affects the muscles around the heart. They don't function properly. You get cytotoxic venom, which is mainly your adders. And for some unknown reason, we've got one adder that's neurotoxic. That's the Berg adder. All the others, the gaboon viper, the puff adder, the horned adder, the many-horned adders, Ferengi's adder, the dwarf adder, the desert adder, they're all cytotoxic venom. But the only two whose venom is potent enough to kill you are the first two, the gaboon and the puff adder. Hematoxic affects the blood. That's your worm slung and your vine snake. Now with hematoxic venom, it takes a long time to actually show serious signs and symptoms. Could be up to 8-9 hours. After the bite, there will be a slight swelling around wherever it's bitten you. Watery blood will come out. And that's about all. Once it's got a grip, you start bleeding internally from your internal organs. You bleed from the bowels. You bleed from the nose. Your eyes become bloodshot because all the little veins in your eyes burst. And at times the only thing that's going to save you is a complete blood transfusion. Now, up here, where's my cane? That is a person who's died from hematoxic worm slung bite. The entire body in the final stages breaks out in what looks like huge bruises because the small blood vessels under the skin rupture as well. and you have this sort of thing there. The most painful of these venoms is cytotoxic. A lot of swelling, a lot of pain. The swelling, if you're bitten on the hand by a buffalo, for instance, is going to end up going right up your arm. And people still believe in putting on a tourniquet. Do not put on a tourniquet. It confines the venom and you get gangrene in the limb. So you could still lose your limb. The answer is a pressure bandage. One that I think everyone should have in their medical kit. And you put it around that limb from start to finish. You go right the way up the limb. Just tight enough as you would for a sprain. Do not cut off the blood circulation. This slows the absorption of the venom and gives you a far greater chance of recovery once you've got to the hospital. Please do not use a tourniquet. Someone else suggested that you give the bloke a few tots. He might die with a smile on his face, but that's not going to help him. That certainly isn't going to help him. No alcohol. Okay, so let's look at the effects of the venom.